Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. Today we're going to see what's going on with Leo energy out there in the cosmos and how that might be affecting us down here. We've all got free will. We can either tap into positive Leo energy or shadowy Leo energy. And Leo is that fire sign energy of, we step into the spotlight of our own life. We're emotionally bold and confident. And some people just like to be in the spotlight. It's more out of operating from pride or ego because, I don't know, maybe all about image and status, and they don't really want to step out from the crowd and actually be creative and inspired in their own life. And the people who are harnessing positive Leo energy. It's like, it's my life, my soul journey. I'm going to do it. I'm no longer going to be so concerned about what other people think of me, or if other people think it's worthy or valuable, or if it's going to cause conflict and fighting for other people. They're going to have to figure out why it caused them conflict and fighting within themselves. I'm moving forward. Positive Leo energy would be coming from love and hope and faith and forgiveness and compassion and balance and justice and fairness. Why would people have a problem with that? But there's some people who definitely don't want to step out from the crowd and live their own life. So the top row is the people harnessing positive Leo energy. We have the Ace of Wands. The universe is telling you, take creative, inspired, fiery Leo action forward. And in the Six of Wands, you have seen the truth. Maybe yourself or someone you were dealing with before used to have a lot of mental conflict. Could have been dealing with someone, or if it was you before, who used to kind of have an energy of, aren't we supposed to win at all costs? Isn't it all about looking like the winner? Maybe you're in a relationship with someone who is so fearful of being hurt in relationships. I don't know. They definitely operate from pride and ego, as if it says something about their value if people quit going out with them. It's like, if people decide that this relationship isn't for them, or that that happens. It doesn't say anything about your worth and value. My goodness, we're such complex people. But some people who really operate from their pride and ego are so afraid of people leaving them that they would look like the loser, that they're at any drop of a hat practically ready to sabotage that relationship because they want to look like they were the winner. Ugh. So you might have moved away from someone like that. And maybe they're just someone who's so much in their pride and ego, they don't care who gets hurt. It's all about themselves. That can be the win at all costs attitude, also. So, regardless of what it was, you're moving forward. You have seen the truth. Instead of being in mental conflict, dealing and worrying about people who want to win at all costs, or they have mental conflict, it's like, you know, I'm going to keep moving forward. Maybe in your Ace of Wands, you're saying, I hope you move forward too one day. I hope you see the truth of your fear, your insecurity, your pride, your ego, maybe your tumultuous thoughts that you have. Because some of you, the person that you're dealing with is, a parent, a child, a friend, a coworker. Some of you, it's a lover, but not necessarily. And you are going to move forward being emotionally brave and strong. You are going to temper your worldly nature that might want to go rip some people's heads off. The Leo energy is about tempering our fiery nature, the things that make us want to take action in the world. So, and it's our pride, it's our ego, it's fear, insecurity, worry about the future, blah, blah. And you're going to temper all of that. It doesn't have to do with this worldly life or how people think about you or perceive you. It's about our emotional peace, well being, our character, our integrity, our honesty, our truth. And it's like, I'm going to move away from people who seem to have mental conflict, or if that was again you within yourself, and you've seen the truth of it, of whatever it was, and you're going to temper yourself. And there might be a lot of thoughts you need to work through as you keep going on this journey. We go from 6 of Swords to 9 of Swords, so a 3 of Swords there. Pain, heartbreak, betrayal, maybe in the past having made mind over heart decisions that were hurtful to you, or in order to move away from people in your past, you had to make a mind over heart decision. But you've got to follow your passions, your wishes, and your dreams. And if those are based on love and hope and faith and balance, kindness, patience, you deserve those things in your life. And maybe it was the universe calling you forward. For some of you, there could be someone from your past that wants to reunite with you, and they're basically offering you a new, at least intimate beginning. But it might be to stay back there in the past and not to move forward, for you not to be emotionally brave and strong, for you to keep repeating past patterns of the past with them, and you don't want to do that. Until that person has also seen the truth, that they have mental conflict or they have an energy of wanting to win at all costs, until they have connected in with their emotions and tempered their worldly nature, their pride, their ego, being all about image and I don't know, whatever their earthly natures have been that they have not emotionally tempered before, until they have learned to do that, you are moving forward. And part of it is, we need to give a lot of thought to the past so that we can move forward in our life. Maybe this person from your past is someone who's very stressed and anxious and lives up in their head. And, you're going to temper yourself and wish that person peace, love, and joy, but you are going to not go towards that person. Even though you might want to, they might know that you wouldn't mind taking intimate action towards them. But, you've been there, done that. It'll just leave you in a mental prison if you keep repeating past patterns of the past. So you are going to detach from that foundation and move forward. Maybe in the past, this person left you out in the cold because they went to go repeat past patterns of the past because they hadn't tempered their worldly nature. They were still operating from pride, ego, fear, insecurity, whatever. So you are going to become self-sovereign. Some of you in the past, maybe a past foundation, if it's just you yourself, a past foundation could have been about some people right now could be being offered to take creative, inspired action forward, to move away from mental conflict, to be emotionally brave and confident, and work through their fears and anxieties. In the past, those people could have walked away from a relationship and become single because someone else had become single and they took passionate action towards them. This person walked away from people who were already in positive Leo energy that they were working together with emotionally. But because they had a lack mentality, or they didn't feel like this relationship was going to lead to the financial abundance or give them the status or image or wealth in life that they thought it would give them, they could have taken action towards someone who is single and abundant and taken action towards that person, and they had turned their back on the truth. They had turned their back on their dreams because they were kind of selfish and greedy, and they were unwilling to temper their worldly nature or their pride or ego or about money or materialism. And they had decided just to live from their mind. And they had thought, if I go get in a relationship with a person who seems to be moving forward in a very successful manner, by worldly standards, I'll look very successful. I will look like I'm victorious. People will look up to me like, wow, look at them. So victorious in life, by having walked away from that loving foundation to go get in a relationship with someone else and take sexual action towards them. But maybe they were actually juggling the people they worked with emotionally and the person who is single. They were juggling which soulmate to align with, and kind of within themselves. You know, what happens inside us happens outside us. So this person was juggling, am I going to be all about the world, Nine of Pentacles, or am I going to be more about working together with people emotionally? Oops. So they decided to put work and effort into having a new beginning with the devil, the world, their Capricorn energy, that it's all about money, materialism, stability, security. And they could have gotten in a relationship with a Capricorn. They were definitely in shadowy Capricorn energy. Maybe yeah, maybe someone offered them an emotional new beginning in a way that appealed to their worldly nature. Status, image, wealth. And they were happy. Oh my goodness, where's this going? I guess since we're doing the redemption story, they were happy with that plan. But kind of maybe their inner nature of truth, of hope and faith and belief, was defensive of that relationship moving forward in commitment or marriage. So they had to walk away. They had to walk away from taking impulsive, reckless, kind of immature action towards that relationship, because they are meant to grow and learn and mature. They are supposed to, in Aquarius energy, see things from the bigger picture. And if they kind of had a witchy voice in their head before that didn't see things from the bigger picture, they need to change that. The universe is kind of changing things for some people anyway. Don't hold your breath. Keep moving forward. But this person needed to see things from the bigger picture. They need to speak their emotional truth and see the truth that they were very competitive. They had a lot of inner conflict. They were defensive in their own foundation, in relationships. They were defensive of listening to their heart and their intuition. They were defensive of giving birth to a new life. You know, the world kind of discourages that a little bit. You know, this person, anyway, was afraid of doing that. They had tried to balance out their emotions by being kind of emotionally manipulative in a new emotional beginning because they were in two minds about the truth and they felt overwhelmed and they were defensive because they're defensive of being heartbroken. Wouldn't everybody move forward in love and hope and faith and justice and fairness and balance if they weren't afraid of being hurt? But because we haven't dealt with issues from our past where people maybe did betray us, they made mind over heart decisions that hurt us, it makes us afraid of trusting love and trusting listening to our heart. So this person decided it was 10 of Pentacles all the way, all about worldliness. They could have decided that was just and fair. Maybe to hide that they were getting into a relationship to exchange financial resources with someone because they thought that would make them happy. They thought they'd be happy being a King of Pentacles. Look at me. Look how stable and abundant I am, and everybody's looking up to me. They thought they could heal and see their dreams come into reality that way, but they were deceiving themselves. You know, you can only live in illusion so long till it's heartbreaking. That there is no life giving energy trying to build your life like that. You're trying to build your life on dead soil. You know, this person was being emotionally shallow and shadowy Scorpio energy. They were unwilling to shed the old ways of being, thinking, believing to give birth to a new life. So they were kind of like repeating the same old past patterns, been here, done that. And instead of believing in themselves, believing in their own dreams, believing in their own capability, and getting the justice and fairness they deserve in their life from being in loving, kind, respectful relationships, they decided to just focus more on the world and create illusion. But their own inner Scorpio nature, along with their own inner truth nature, so Scorpio is the deepest emotions we can have. And their inner child nature of truth wants to experience life emotionally. So their Scorpio nature put an end to their illusions, their facade, and in their Aries Emperor energy, made a decision to know their emotional worth and value. Instead of emotionally just focusing on money and materialism, we're making a decision. Aries energy is willing to start new cycles in life, to let old foundations go, to start new cycles. And they decided, instead of limiting my emotional investment in life to money and materialism, I'm going to start learning to know my own emotional worth and value. And I am bringing down my old Taurus, earth sign, government rules and regulations of belief about how I should run my life. I'm bringing that old foundation down. And in my Virgo energy, I am going to go within to gain insight and wisdom about that old way of living my life. This is right, that's wrong. I will do this, I won't do that. This is valuable, that's unvaluable. You know, this person before was very much in just a Taurus earth sign energy of just about the world, surrounding yourself with luxuries in life, putting in hard work and effort to look like a pillar of community, all about image and status and reputation. You know, a higher perspective of a governing belief system in your own mind of rules and regulations would be, I make decisions in my life based on love. Is this a loving, kind, respectful decision for me to be making in my life? Am I treating myself in a compassionate, forgiving manner so that I can keep moving forward and growing and learning in my life? Am I making decisions that are best for the people who I am responsible for in my life? Or am I being selfish and greedy? And before, this person might have had a very selfish and greedy, kind of lower vibrational Taurus belief system about life and themselves. And now they're putting in the work and effort to go within to gain insight and wisdom about that. And they might have found that hidden beneath the surface of their emotions was that they were mentally defensive of taking a leap of faith and love. Their mind before told them, no, 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 no. We could get hurt if we do that. They probably had people in their life that were loving, who trusted the universe, trusted love, who spoke the truth, but this person was hiding the fact that I don't really want to speak my truth, that I'm afraid to take a leap of faith and love. So instead, they could have started a new foundation with a third party thinking that'll be great, right? But maybe that relationship ended and they started to see things, well, their dream of being stuck in pride and ego came to an end, and looking like a shining star in the world came to an end. So now they're kind of considering what they should do. They're still in a mental prison because they had ignored love and now they have regret. You know, some of them decided that they don't want to do that anymore. We're going to keep repeating that same old pattern over and over and over, or I'm not going to do that anymore. I've gained insight and understanding. In my Pisces emotions, I am willing to take some creative, inspired effort to communicate with my own Gemini nature of love. You know, Gemini is a dualistic sign. What side of our free will or our nature are we going to align with? Are we going to align with our mind or our heart? Are we going to align with the world or the divine? Are we going to align with our hopes and our dreams or our image and our ego? So they decided to take action towards aligning with love and be willing to learn and grow and see all the emotional possibilities. And they have made a final decision that they are going to accept this offer from the universe to move forward and take creative, inspired action in their life. They're moving away from mental conflict. For some of them, they might want, hopefully within themselves, they're going to emotionally temper their pride and ego and their worldly nature, and they're giving a lot of thought to it. They have to deal with the pain and heartbreak they had been in before when they were making poor decisions, but we all repeat past patterns of the past. We all make mind over heart decisions out of fear, insecurity, self-limiting beliefs, pride, and ego. You know, if we learn the lesson from it and we offer ourselves the compassion and forgiveness that we're fallible human beings who make mistakes out of our fear of being hurt, if the number one fear of human beings is to be rejected, we can imagine how extensive our defense system is in our own mind of rules and regulations of our belief system about how we're going to run our life, how extensive those are to protect ourselves from being hurt. So this person, I would say, is giving a lot of thought, maybe to even people from their past that they left out in the cold who are now very stable and abundant. They might want to take action towards those people, but unless they're willing to speak the truth and unless they are willing to detach from the old foundations that they had been within and worldliness, and for them to become self-sovereign and independent, and willing to make emotionally or bold, confident action in their own life and move forward in truth, don't even think about taking action toward those people. You need to become that yourself so that you become bold and confident and you speak the truth and see the truth of your dreams. And you hold back from that scary voice in your head that says you shouldn't move forward, you get hurt doing that. And you say, no, I'm going to focus on the truth and my dreams. And if I had people in my life who are like this, bossy and controlling and emotionally detached and selfish and greedy, and they don't open up and they hold back, I'm turning my back on those people too. And this is where I'm going to live. I'm going to keep letting the universe offer me creative inspiration to keep moving forward in truth, following my dreams. And as I go, I will temper my pride, my ego, my fears, my insecurities. And I'm not going to let my mind go up into my fears and insecurities. I'm going to keep being focused on where I'm going. We can only live in the present moment. Our mind will try to make us fearful and afraid. Oh, well, what if this never happens? What if that never happens? Maybe it will. Maybe the universe has a plan for your life. And if you just go with the flow, the universe is trying to line things up for you. Don't get caught up in your fears and your insecurities of your mind telling you, what if this never happens? What if that never happens? What if it does? So I would say that's what Positive Leo is doing. Positive Leo is trying to get people to move forward, to be emotionally brave and strong and turn their back on their fears, their insecurities that just want to lead them back to repeating patterns of the past. Move away from the past. Detach from that old foundational way of thinking, believing, and perceiving. And trust yourself. Trust the divine. Now, for some people in shadowy energy, they don't get much time because I babbled on forever on that. Someone in shadowy Leo energy, out of pride and ego, fear, insecurity, afraid of love, is going to present themselves as a loving person, maybe to a Capricorn, or offer their love to their own shadowy nature. I've sold my soul to the devil. I am completely out of balance. Not love, not hope, not faith. It's fear, it's insecurity, it's selfishness, it's greed. Because I have a lot of inner conflict about changing, about going with the flow, about trusting the universe and believing in my dreams and having hope and faith and belief. And some of them are just going to offer their emotions to focus on money and materialism because they have a lot of inner conflict about moving forward in their life or change. Some people are, it is a common fear of human beings to not like change. And so some of these people are just going to ignore love. They're just going to live in denial. They deceive themselves because they're really afraid if they keep moving forward, they're going to have to deal with their fears and insecurities. Some of them, their fears and insecurities about the past. Some of them might get in a relationship. They might offer an emotional offer to a Capricorn or someone who represents worldliness to them, or whatever it is that they're addicted to. That person offers them drugs. There you go. I'll offer to you. Oh, you offer me something that will seem to boost my pride and ego and make me feel, I don't know, happy that I'm in my pride and ego. If you're someone who offers me stability and security, if you're somebody who offers me some type of thing of access or prestige or whatever, You're someone who's willing to indulge my fears and insecurities and my toxic energy. Perfect. I'll be in a relationship with you. Because I have a lot of fear and insecurity, or I have a lot of ego and whatever. And if you're willing to put up with it, perfect. If you're willing to keep repeating the same old patterns in life with me, perfect. Because I have inner conflict about change. They could get in that relationship because they're very competitive. Maybe if they're focusing on money and materialism, they want to get to where they have a lot of money and materialism. If they're getting in a relationship with someone who is very wealthy, perfect. They're very competitive in the 3D world. And they want things to go in their favor, and maybe having those things in their life is what makes them feel that things will go in their favor. And if that means that they ignore love, oh well. They will be deceptive and manipulative, because otherwise they'd have to give a lot of thought about the past. And they're stressed about dealing with their past because maybe in their past they were deceptive and manipulative too. They were maybe toxic and controlling, selfish, greedy, jealous, envious, whatever the devil represents to them. But if they can find someone to be in a relationship with them like that, perfect. They don't want to see the truth. They carry the Five of Swords. It's mental conflict. It's wanting to win at all costs. Maybe they're whoever this person they're offering emotions to, that person represents an unhealthy emotional dynamic of their past, and they're kind of sadly, toxically addicted to it. Maybe they're hoping, oh, this is sad. Well, we all repeat past patterns of the past until we learn the lesson. And if this person can't figure out what they were meant to learn, it's just like anyone. If someone keeps getting in a relationship with people who are abusive, with people who are disrespectful, with people who are, addicted or really reckless, whatever, you can imagine the whole thing. For some reason, people keep getting into those type of relationships. Maybe because that represents something. This could be just someone who's emotionally manipulative, a little cold, kind of, diminishes you a little bit. Maybe that reminds them of someone from their past. But they have a lot of stress and anxiety about acknowledging the truth of that, because that would mean they have to acknowledge a truth about someone in their past that was maybe a little emotionally manipulative, a little toxic, a little unloving, a little selfish, a little greedy. And maybe even admitting that to themselves would be emotionally destabilizing. So sometimes it doesn't have to be big things, it can be small things. But if they have always been in the denial of that truth, because to acknowledge that truth causes them a lot of mental conflict, maybe it would emotionally destabilize them. And that's why the whole thing is, when someone is like that, you wish them peace. They can't face it because it would emotionally destabilize them. Some people, it could be a lot more things in their past. But basically, the thing is, we repeat the pattern of the past. We get in relationships with people who are like that because for some reason, for some of us, it's not that we don't want to see the truth of people from our past and acknowledge that and admit that. Some of us, it's just that there was someone in our past who was a little toxic, and it seemed like it said something about our worth and value. And until we keep repeating that pattern over and over till we finally say, oh my gosh, I deserve to be treated with love. I deserve to be treated in a compassionate, kind, respectful manner. Until we decide, quit looking outside ourselves for people who do this. If we don't know our worth and value, there's a quote that If we don't know our worth and value, there's something like there's a lot of people in the world who will agree with you, who won't acknowledge your worth and value too. Until you acknowledge and put in the hard work and effort to free yourself from your own self-limiting beliefs, you'll keep getting in relationships with people who are toxic because they agree with you that they don't have to treat you with worth and value. And until you decide to offer love to free yourself and put in the hard work and effort to know your worth and value, it's kind of that Leo energy. When are we going to rise up? We keep pushing our face in the ground, codependent on people outside of us to validate our damn value. And when you rise up and you say, I don't need any of you to validate me, I validate me. I know my worth and value. And until this person realizes there's no one, they don't have to get in relationships with people like their past to get those people to love them. Those people who are like those people in their past probably are never going to love them. Because those people have something about them that's toxic. They're selfish, they're greedy, they're addicted, they're egotistical, they're manipulative. Who knows? It's different for everyone. But you keep getting into a relationship with people who remind you of people of your past because you want this time to win. You want them to pick you, to quit picking their ego, their pride, their selfishness, their greed, their addiction, and pick you, but they're not going to. And you don't need them to. You can love you. You can treat yourself with forgiveness and kindness and compassion. You don't need those people to give that to you. And when you have realized you don't need them to give it to you, you can move forward and you can be in relationships with people who don't remind you of people from your past. You don't need to fix anybody. You don't need to win against anyone. Person you need to win against is your own shadow nature that tells you that you need other people to value you. You need other people to validate your worth and value. You don't. You need to get balance within yourself and overvalue yourself. Treat yourself with some compassion and forgiveness and kindness and gentleness and respect. And when you treat yourself that way, then when you go get relationships with other people, you know what it feels like because you treat yourself that way every day. And you're treating them that way. And if they don't want to reciprocate that and they want to be rude, a little emotionally manipulative, a little whatever, you say, I wish you peace. And you move on. So sadly, some of these people have not learned the lesson. For some of them, they may never acknowledge it because there's things about their past that they would have to acknowledge that they would emotionally destabilize them. When they're strong enough and they're ready, the universe knows when they are. And then they will. For others of them, it's their own lack. It's their own lack of faith and belief in themselves, their own fear of being hurt that keeps them in a toxic cycle. And we see a lot of people lashing out in the world because of that, which is sad. Some people sadly come from a very competitive energy. Why? I don't know. Guess it makes them feel that's how they self-empower themselves. We choose to self-empower ourselves by loving ourselves, being kind and compassionate to ourselves. So we build making decisions in our life that are respectful. So we build our sense of character and integrity, and we're proud of ourselves. And if some people haven't learned to do that, sadly, the hole they dig keeps getting bigger and bigger because they keep taking actions to try to empower themselves in negative ways so they don't build up their character and integrity. And it's going to be an awful loop that they stay in, which is really sad. They think that maybe they'll be able to get what they want in life doing it that way, but they're only deceiving themselves. And until they see the truth and become so stressed out about repeating these patterns that they're willing to take creative, inspired action to finally put in the time, energy, and effort to figure out the truth and become independent from earthly foundations, any foundation they're in, to become independent within themselves in the energy of love, they're going to stay there. So it's a hard process. It's a long process. Why isn't the whole world writing books, writing songs, doing all these creative, inspired things in our life? You know, because we're all learning this as we go. Why aren't we in our dream job? Why aren't we putting in the work and effort to get the schooling, the education? Why aren't we all at the ideal healthy weight? Why aren't we all doing all the things we should? I don't know. The same reason we don't do our stuff is the same reason they don't do theirs. So, you know, when we kind of put it in that perspective, we can have compassion for them, because I know I got some things I'm not doing that I should be doing. Why aren't I doing it? So far, those things I'm not doing in my life, I'm not going and exercising it every day. I'm not going and walking and doing all these things I keep saying I want to do. My bedroom's a disaster. My whole house is a kind of disaster. Why aren't I doing it? I choose laziness. The Capricorn Devil card in a shadowy sense. The seven deadly sins: lust, greed, selfishness. What is it? Lust, greed, selfishness, laziness, indulgence. We think not doing what we're doing seems to be more pleasant and appealing than what we would have to do the things we say we want to do, that we know would actually make us feel proud of ourselves. God dang it. I'm going to have to go start walking to feel proud of myself. But anyway, there you go, Leo energies. I wish you peace, love, and joy. Sorry I got so emotional on you there, but I get worked up about, I hate for people to be stuck in their own fear and insecurity. It's an awful place to be. So I wish you peace, love, and joy. See you next time. Bye bye.